So, for part two of your story, I want to talk to you about plot. So, when I'm talking about a plot, when we're reading a book, they always have a plot in the story. It's different sequences of events that take place during that story. When we're talking about our story, our lives, the story of our life we're walking through daily, I think about just different seasons in our lives that we go through that sometimes are not the best. When I look back in my life, I'm like, okay, yeah, this was horrible. Then I look back and I'm like, but this wasn't. And I'm like, man, I went through that. I'm like, man, wow, God pulled me through that. Wow. Because when we're in the midst of some things that are uncomfortable, sometimes we second guess, let's be real, you know, what God is doing because we don't understand it. And then we second guess, our little faith sometimes start to waver a little bit because we're like, God, what are you doing? But I'm going to say like my pastor preached the other day. He said, pray for understanding. Because when you're going through things and you're not understanding what's going on, you become frustrated. And so it's like if you pray for understanding, God brings you to understanding, you can walk through that season with peace. That's some good advice. Y'all got the best pastor. But anyway, I think about the plot of our lives, different events that happen. Every event in our life is important. Whether it's comfortable or uncomfortable for us, it's important because we go through different seasons and trials in our lives because we're going to come into contact with somebody one day that we're going to have to share what we went through with. And I think about like just times in my life where I went through certain things, and at that moment maybe we don't want to share it because we haven't healed from it yet. It's so important for us to allow God to heal us through what we go through in those uncomfortable seasons in our lives so we're able to share it with someone else. Because we go through things to be able to help somebody else along the way. Everything we go through has a purpose, right? Whether it's purging things out of us or to be able to testify to somebody else of what God did and where he's brought you from. We can't just go through stuff and just hold it all to ourselves. God didn't design it to be that way. God want to be able to say, you know what? I look back to like, if I think about certain things that God brought me through, I even say my divorces, being divorced 3 times is like the worst. Like, yeah, it was hard. But when I look back, I'm like, man, God did that. Like, nobody but the Lord brought me through that, right? And I could stand here and be thankful. So now I can talk to other people that's going through divorces. I told somebody the other day, look, I'm a professional at divorces. Ask me, I can tell you how you doing, the different emotions you're going to go through, all of these things. I'm not making light of it because ultimately God hates divorce, but that is a part of my life. It's a part of my testimony. And God has given me the strength to go through it. So now I'm able to help other people that's going through the same situation that may have been divorced more than once. I can understand. I can sympathize with that person. Every situation, yes, is different. But the things that I went through is not just for me. It's for someone else that's going through it or will go through it. And then they can understand, okay, if she went through it by God, the grace of God, if God brought her through it, he'll bring me through it. So my question to you would be, have you healed from those uncomfortable seasons in your life to be able to share your testimony with other people? That's your food for thought. Because if you have not completely healed from the things that you've been through, you will not be comfortable sharing that testimony with someone else. And guess what? Someone needs you and someone needs that testimony. Amen? Amen. So today I leave you with this. Psalm chapter 37 and verse 23 and 24. And it says, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighted in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholdeth him with his hand. So before I go, I just want to remind you, if you haven't already, check out my website at www.talkswithshay.org. You can subscribe to my videos on YouTube and find me on Facebook. Like my page, share my page. Invite your friends to like my page. And until next time with Talks with Shay, Shay is out. Y'all stay blessed.